CM Punk and his War of Words with MJF has reached a fever pitch, at least for now, after the six-man tag team match, where it looked like they were going to be done with it, but then CM Punk decided to go ahead and instantly get MJF disqualified on the first AEW Dynamite of the new year, because, of course. And normally people were pissed off over the DQ finish, but everyone was like, hey, wait, this DQ actually has meaning, whereas this is just an arbitrary way to extend a feud, even though there's no to just do a title match, because of course they do it. But, yeah. He and Punk had a war of words against each other, and they went after each other and talked about WWE's evil corporate policies and going ahead and tearing everything down because that's what WWE likes to do, and Punk taking his shots because he just needs to get it out of his system. And this would culminate in a match between the rising star Wardlow and the best in the world CM Punk in a one-on-one match. And Wardlow has been on a hot streak. Like, he was having an 18-match streak going on over the various programs they have on YouTube and AEW television. And he just won a total of 18 matches, and then he's getting seriously over with fans. Like, even his powerbomb is now becoming the new Suplex City. Yes, I know my hairs look weird. So, yeah. So, yeah. Wardlow was actually suggested by Chris Jericho, hey, you should do the powerbomb stuff, like Brock Lesnar does the suplexes. And it was like, well, at least we can now know we can blame Jericho for Wardlow's destruction on talent, because now they have a reason to hate him more so. How, like, Eddie Kingston already is after him, trying to take over the inner circle for the most part. But this was going to be a match between raw power versus experience, and experience won in decisive fashion, especially when you use callbacks in order to sell a story. Because, okay, I get people's issue with particularly what happened at the end, but at the same time it's like, well, there is actually another reason why, but I'll get to that when I can. But Wardlow, he's royally getting pissed off with MJF. I'm waiting for the moment where he acts like the Giant did to Hogan in NWO, where he grabs him by the throat and destroys. Like, I see this happening after MJF wins the title, and I see Wardlow winning the Eliminator tournament, heading into Full Gear, and then right around before Winter's coming, Wardlow breaks away from MJF after MJF continues to talk around the whole subject of, well, I have a title shot, I want a title shot, and then it just reaches a culmination point where Wardlow just grabs MJF by the throat and screams at him saying, "That's all! I want the gold!" And MJF has to get the Pinnacle and maybe some additional higher help in order to take down Wardlow, just to, do the whole NWO shtick on that front. But yeah, it's a fun time for hoping for that. But yeah, their relationship got further damaged after this match. But Wardlow really took it with Punk. It was probably Punk's quote difficult match, you could say, especially with MJF in the shadows lurking out the side of the ring and directing traffic. And whereas MJF doesn't like when Wardlow shows off, even hiring Sean Spears to basically his governor, essentially, to don't show off unless I say you can show off. And he showed off, and it ultimately cost him the big time. But there is something about this I love at the end, where so you saw Punk going ahead and buckling down, and then he gets a victory over a roll-up, which I understand pissed people off because it's like, oh, roll-up, great, we're doing this. But it's actually a deliberate callback. Someone actually pointed this out and showed videos side-by-side comparison on my Twitter timeline showing that, oh, you're replicating Bret Hart versus Diesel at Survivor Series. Survivor Series? in their no DQ match. Yeah, so Punk was channeling once again the Bret Hart stuff, and this time he was making Wardlow be Diesel. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment. Like, Diesel was a long champion for a time during the 90s, but that's a different subject. But yeah, it's fun when they do these kind of callbacks. It gives this idea that the legacy of the past still matters, regardless of where it came from, whereas that other place likes to just forget its history and then act like everyone's dumb and doesn't know what's going on in history. But yeah, CM Punk got the victory and maintained a streak. I'm a little surprised and I liked how they did sell the streak versus streak match out of this, since Wardlow's been undefeated for 18 matches, and the average match ranking is 1 minute and 40 seconds in average. Whereas Punk has been undefeated since he's pretty much started in AEW, so, and he was so close. If MJF didn't do didn't direct traffic at the end, he could have probably won the match, and that would have been Wardlow's biggest victory to date. Sadly, we gotta put Punk over in order to prepare for MJF to eventually defeat him, because MJF must be prepared for goldness. And yeah, MJF got pissed off afterwards, telling him you're never gonna win the big one, and you're never gonna win anything, and how he can never win a big match. He grabbed Wardlow, pushed him, tapped him on the chest, and then he's just like, ready to snap and kill him, but Shawn Spears comes into the ring and says, "No, we can't destroy our biggest benefactor," and stops the would-be massacre from occurring. But Wardlow can only be tempered down for a little bit until it eventually all boils over, and if it goes where I think it's gonna go, yeah, we have to wait a couple more months. But yeah, I definitely do think after Full Gear, that's it. That's where everything boils over, and Shawn Spears can't beat Governor or Wardlow anymore. Oh boy! Not a good time for MJF. He's now has to get Shawn Spears. Okay, Shawn Spears, go over there and fight Punk. What? So MJF continuing to avoid Punk, and Punk's is now basically being told go through the entire Pinnacle group, but we'll see how that lasts. Oh man. Also, I gotta ask this question about Shawn Spears. Why does he wear a suit but has no undershirt? Like, from a design aesthetic? Like, I could imagine Matt Riddle doing it, but Shawn Spears? No, I can imagine Matt Riddle because, you know, he's high a lot. He acts like he's high on every single occasion. You know what? I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to be high. But yeah, Punk's getting that iron out of it, getting that bugs out of him, trying to get to that experience level he's at. I am looking forward to the day we see MJF and Punk. I could honestly think they could stretch to Revolution, make it to Revolution, and then they could do the match. And I can imagine MJF's gonna win. Even though I kind of want Hook to be the one that dethrones Punk's undefeated streak, just because it would follow up on Punk's storyline with Team Taz and the whole storyline they had going, where Punk kind of was the one that started the whole send Hook thing. And now everyone loves Hook in AEW, like a lot. But yeah, Wardlow, however, if they can't stretch it out to Full Gear, I think they can, but it has to depend on some creative ideas. Then I definitely think it's going to break off sooner than later, but I am definitely hoping it's after Full Gear, where he is now the next contender for the AEW World Championship against MJF after he beats Hangman and dethrones him. I'm also still calling for this. How about we do a little swerve? It's MJF doesn't break the group off. If that's the predictable route we can go with, but we can go a little bit of a swerve here. MJF turns into a heel version of Orton when he was kicked out of Evolution, and Wardlow turns the Pinnacle face and takes over as leader and goes after MJF, because really it could work. I can see it working somehow. You would have to be very creative, and I definitely think they have the resources to do so. But we'll have to see on that front. Wardlow is still getting cheered, and they even cheered him over CM Punk at times, which was, you're making it, man. You're making it. How many pillars do they have, honestly? I feel like they have like several pillars worth of superstars ready to be made. They have the main 4 pillars. You could probably make a 5th one on Britt Baker. Have like Punk's put her over multiple times, and now she's also making out with her boyfriend at the opening segment, beating up the best friend. So you got something there. But yeah. We'll have to see where things go from here. I'm looking forward to it. This was just a pretty decent match, and what exactly needed to be to fulfill the story progression we got here. Oh man, I'm excited what's going to happen with MJF and CM Punk lock horns, because that's going to be something. But this was Neo Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my content, and stay tuned for more. See y'all next time. And I just want to also mention, I am now officially monetized on here, so let's get this ball rolling more. Peace out, everyone. Take care.